Okay, namaskar. Yeah. Okay, so we will start now, and certainly we will take whether your question is in the chat or directly. And as I mentioned, you can ask anything. We will complete, and if time permit, we'll talk about one example. Uh, Otherwise, we'll keep taking your questions. It could be anything about soul plan, though we have gone through 3 sessions. We have covered majority of things. There will be more. So yes, Sunita ji, you have your hand raised, so please go ahead and ask your question.
सर सोल प्लान से लास्ट वाला टर्म का ही क्वेश्चन कनेक्टिंग है। अगर इंटरफेयर नहीं करते हैं देन देयर आर लॉट ऑफ लॉसेस, बहुत नुकसान होता है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? लाइक समझ गए सोल प्लान है, इंटरफेयर नहीं करना चाहिए, पर एक लिमिट तक अगर नहीं कर रहे हैं देन लॉट ऑफ लॉसेस आर देयर, एवरीडे लॉसेस आर देयर, तो क्या करें? उतना पेशेंस कहाँ से लेके आएंगे सर? लॉस हो रहा है, होने दें, जस्ट क्वाइटली बैठ जाएं या और कुछ करें सर?
So just to recap, I know last time we were talking about, especially when your kids are having some
यस
habit,
सर।
some particular behavior, which you know as a parent is not good. Now the question is, how far can we sit with the eyes closed? That's the question. Now, this can lead to financial loss. This can lead to many different issues. But right now, it's mainly financial loss. And habits jo ki we say ki bhai, this is not correct, this is not good, this is not ideal. And as you just mentioned in your question that you have understood the soul plan, but losses are daily. So how far can you go? So first of all, let me say this. It's not easy, right? The soul has come in the physical body because soul has no other option. Trust me. If soul had any other option of experiencing emotion without coming into human form, probably, right? I can only say probably, soul would have opted that. But soul has no other choice. If soul wants to progress, go to mukti, nirvana, you have to go through certain experience. Experience only comes in human form. So it's not easy. So remember, you will face certain challenges in life. Challenges are planned by you yourself, not to punish you, but to move towards progress, which is mukti, moksha, whichever way we take it. It's not only once that you will go and face the challenge. Life will bring you back. You know, we say Microsoft or any other thing. They are not doing anything new. When you're trying to close an application, it still asks you, are you sure? And then again, you say yes, then it closes it. Same thing life does. It puts you in a challenge. You have completed the challenge successfully. It will still ask you, are you sure? That means that challenge will come back again, but in a very lighter version, maybe, to make sure that you are over that hump, over that, whatever the lesson is. So when we say that I've understood, but the moment we say but, that means the understanding is not complete. If understanding is complete, then there will not be any but. So in your example, financial loss is happening, which is not easy to take. 100% I'm with you. But if we have understood what is soul plan and accepted this is my soul plan, then that, when it is 100%, when you have 100% clear, it will happen, this will happen, this is what I want to learn as a soul. From that point onwards, it should not bother you. Does not matter. If it is bothering you, means somewhere the learning is not complete. Somewhere we are not fully detached. Somewhere we are interfering. Again, just to recap, last time we talked whose money we are talking about, your money or your child's money. If it is child's money, then it's totally his. or hers, depending on the child, in this case, your son. So that's why I'm referring to him. You can show them the path of wisdoms. You can bring the knowledge, the information to the person. You cannot, and the reason I'm saying you cannot, because this is referring to the soul plan. Does not matter what, you cannot force a soul to go one way. If we are forcing, means we are interfering the soul's path. If soul has decided I will go through the lack, which we call suffering, soul doesn't say it's suffering. It just says my experience, abundance or lack. If soul has to experience this, you don't know. Maybe the soul is going, the concept of contrast. Soul goes in the opposite direction first, then make a U-turn. It may be doing so for the soul's own benefit. It may be doing so for others around you. So if you had a contract with your son that I want to learn this, you do this so that I learn that, that could be one possibility. Other possibilities for the soul directly, for the son itself, nothing to do with you. But when your emotions, your feelings is attached to some action, then certainly it is a contract between you and him. It could be someone else also in the family, but at least right now it is you, because you are concerned, you are bothered, you are attached, you are debating yourself in your mind. Okay?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now remember one more thing. The first question after this, because we are all human, the first question come after this is how long this will continue. Right? That's always a $1 million question. So it will continue until, if it is your learning, then your learning is not complete. If it is his learning, until his learning is not complete. So sooner we learn, better it is for us. Now another $1 million question will come. How do I know I've learned? Who will decide this? Only you can decide, no one else. How will you decide? The day it stops bothering you. The day it stops bothering you, then you would know that yes, I'm over this. I've learned this lesson. Let your child do whatever, it will not bother you. Then you know, yes, now I have truly, my soul has learned this lesson. You may dislike, my son is still wasting money, but your soul will not suffer. Means you as a human, you will not have pain, the suffering. And when that suffering ends, means really you have learned. And the best part is the moment that feeling goes, generally the event also will start either reducing in intensity or they will disappear. Because learning is...
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So it's a tough thing, but please continue your path. One last thing, and this is again your example, but benefit goes to everyone. So I'm saying extremely, extremely important if you want to expedite your learning. Do not live in the feeling of lack. Because till the time whole day we keep thinking I have limited resources, my resources are getting wasted, you are sending this energy to the universe that you are living in lack. Whatever energy you are radiating, that's what you will get. So if every hour you are thinking, I have limited resources, I'm losing that also, limited resources, losing that also. Imagine what you are inviting in your life. Lack. You are manifesting lack. So you have to feel abundance. You have to feel I have enough. Right? What that enough is up to you, because everyone will define enough as different number, different ways. But you
Yes.
have to live in a feeling of abundance, that you have enough for you, whichever way you want to visualize it. Because comfortable life means different to different people. Someone will say comfort means health. Someone will say comfort means wealth, means money. Someone will say comfort means relationship. Right? And within relationship, there could be thousands of possibilities. Within wealth, there could be thousands of. So no two person may define the same thing same way. That's okay. So you have to define the way you want to define that abundance means what to you, and live that way. And then you will see slowly and slowly how things get transformed. Because then your thoughts are getting changed. Not during meditation, throughout the day. You are coming out of the negative energy, giving yourself positive. The moment your thoughts getting changed, your feeling will change. With feeling, your emotions. With emotions, your body, whatever hormone enzymes we are secreting inside, they will be all positive, not negative. Means you are out of the stress, you are in the healing mode. So throughout the day, the body will radiate positive energy. And that's the permanent change we are looking for, not like for a 5 minutes or 10 minutes feeling that we get. Okay?
Yes, sir. I think 3-4 points I got it, sir, and I have to work for that.
Wonderful.
Which I have to work. I have to work from that, from your answer, sir. I just got 3-4 points on which I have to work more. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Very
I'll
welcome.
just make a note.
Ji,
Yeah, thank you.
sorry to interrupt. I think I understood it, but could not summarize things. Gauruji, you could just summarize it in 2 sentences, because I think I just got all over now.
Well, it's not a question of summarizing because this topic is so deep
Mhm.
that you have to understand those subtopics that we have been talking about, because the story will be different for different people. However, the approach will be same.
Okay.
So the first thing what anybody has to do is acknowledge what universe is telling you, the message you are getting. We think I have understood soul plan or I have understood any concept. But when the time comes of implementation, then the result is something else. We see that no, I may have theoretically understood, but practically I'm not able to follow it. That means your learning is not complete. Whatever
And
you
that's
are
what is
doing.
happening actually. I feel that I understood and all, but when it comes to the matter of application, I feel that I'm moving away from my seat of stability.
And you are not alone in that, because this is the most difficult part of the soul and the body combination, because soul says, I may understand the theory, but the body is the one where the body and the mind combination takes us back into the human world. Human world means the logic. Society says good means wealth, lack means bad. For soul, it does not matter. So society says, okay, if your kids do this, they are successful. If your kids are doing this, they may be called failure. For soul, it doesn't matter. So the choice or the fight comes, do we satisfy society's rule or do I satisfy my soul? The body and the mind takes you toward the society, which is the physical world. The soul says to me, doesn't matter. I may be a beggar, that's it. I have chosen this life. There is a purpose for me to be a beggar. But the body and mind says, no, I have to have X number of earning in terms of money. I have to have this title. I have to have this number of asset, whether house, car, whatever, because society rules say so. So there is always a balance and a fight at the same time going on between the soul and the physical element. That is the toughest thing. You can listen, you can read, you can go through any wisdom, you can understand, yeah, makes sense. But the real challenge comes when you implement it. And out of that, the real part of the real challenge comes when it happens to you or within the family. It's easy to preach someone. But when the person himself or herself has to implement the preaching, that's when the real test comes.
Gauruji, I may interrupt you just here one thing. So when things you feel that people or colleagues or anybody have been unfair and you try to be assertive, and sometimes it goes well, but sometimes it ends up into a negative way as well. The person doesn't agree, or may stop talking to you or may raise their voice. And so that's what I feel concerned. Like you can clearly see that the person has not treated you well or anything, and you be assertive and you speak up your mind, and these happen. So that was where I get lost. Then what should I be doing?
See, there is no right or wrong answer for any particular situation you may be in. The right or wrong answer will come from your understanding of yourself. You have to look inward, and then you have to see what this situation is teaching you. So you may see, yes, I saw similar pattern in my life, say 5 years ago. I saw something 2 years ago, and I'm seeing it now. Maybe different person, but people are trying to say, example, someone cannot defend himself or herself. So you just do whatever people are telling you to. And if person identifies, oh, yeah, I see a pattern, then you know there is something to be worked on. So anytime, any relationship, any behavior, whatever life related thing, we don't jump onto the very first experience and say, yeah, that's my soul plan. No, you have to connect the dots. And when you feel clearly, yes, this makes sense, I'm getting this messages from many directions, then one can easily say, yes, what is it that I need to learn? One simple way to identify this is whatever the person is doing, which is kind of against your wish, try to see what is it that it's teaching you by looking into the opposite of whatever is happening. So if you don't like the person, why? Oh, the way the person walks, or the way the person treat me, look downs at me, whatever. And then you have to do introspection.
Even probably sometimes it's when you say that these things happen often with different people, and also could it also mean that you are doing the same way as the other person sometimes? Because I just listened to the audiobook of You Can Heal Yourself, and perhaps says that you see that you need to improve yourself. Maybe at some point somewhere you have been doing that with other people. So now I'm confused because I got two different things.
Why do you say two different things? Because that's exactly where I was going.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's the reason of introspection.
Okay.
That why I'm getting this message, right? And you may have done it in the past, or you may be doing it even now, right?
Mhm.
Two different things. If it is in the past, you may not get the answer right away. And you will see in the following sessions when we will talk those summarized ways how to identify. But certainly there is something inside us that we need to fix. That's why our soul has planned this particular relationship.
I have heard people, I mean, saying that I was not like that. Like, so I was probably submissive, and now I'm speaking of mine. That's the change that I see, and I want to stand up for myself. But they see that I have changed my personality or something like that. So just wondering. And then I feel that over the period of time, the people I interact with say different things, but some individuals say different things. So that's where I feel, am I really like this? Like majority of people say that I am respectful, I care, I what do you say, uh, supportive, helpful, trustworthy, and everything. And then just 2-3 odd people come up with this thing. So just that creates a confusion actually.
Well, it's the same thing as I mentioned before, the fight between soul and the body and mind. Those 2-3 people may be correct. They are telling you who you are. Others may be, either not telling you the truth, or they may be too close. They have seen you, they have accepted, they may not see it as any issue. It could be anything in between because there is no right or wrong here. Every case is unique. The
Okay.
question is, will your body and mind allow you to truly see who you are? Nobody wants to accept, nobody wants to even hear that I have a problem. Someone says something which is, hey, you have this problem. The first reaction comes, not me. Problem is in you.
Yeah, you defend yourself.
You defend
On
yourself. The
defensive mode.
mind,
Yeah.
immediately the mind will tell you 10 reasons why this person is wrong. This person is saying because of this, you don't worry, you are on the right path, you are the right person, you are blah, blah, blah. All the positive things. It will, it's a body's defense mechanism, but it works against you. So you have to really calm down. You have to really, that's why we say, get into the meditation, get into this sadhana, because it allows you to cut down the noise and then listen to the heart. And heart will tell you, you have this habit or you have this behavior issue or whatever that thing is. But then again, it's difficult to accept. And once even you accept, you have to overcome. That is another challenge. Even if you have accept that, yes, it is true, I do have this behavior pattern. To overcome that, again, the body will keep pulling you. Why it does that? Because the way we are, the body, as we were talking about your thoughts, feelings, emotion, the body will secrete hormones, enzymes, and all. So the moment we have a particular pattern, we will get all kind of stress related things because we get energy from it. So when we are getting the stress related hormones, all of a sudden you are trying to be polite, you are trying to do the right thing, your body is healing. But the body is addicted to the stress hormone, whether it is cortisol, adrenaline, whatever. The body says, no, I'm missing it. Go back to the old habits because I'm addicted. It's not just sugar, caffeine, tea, and all that the body is addicted to. No, our emotions, we are heavily addicted to whatever our habits are. That's why changing habit is not one day like a snapping a finger. No, it takes time. So solution in this is first step-by-step approach. First, go and see by example that yes, I do behave like this under this situation. Okay, what next? How much can I agree to change? Okay, this much. And then, so go step by step. If we jump directly on a solution, body will immediately pull you back very hard. But
Okay. Thank you, Gauri.
welcome, Smitaji. And later in the session, we will see step by step, simple mechanism, how we can identify our soul plan and how to overcome, where you will get some more. But first thing is with the open, calm down kind of, meditation, we just call it. Introspection is very important.
I'm glad that I've gone back to regular meditation now. So I have another question. I'll wait for my turn. Thank you, Gauri.
Gaurav, is it okay if I can add something?
Sure, go ahead, Manav.
One thing is there is I can take my example. Maybe Gaurav, you know me more than for years now, and I'm trying to adapt the same thing. I've stopped reacting, not even inside myself. Like somebody says something and one is reacting on the face, other is reacting yourself and questioning yourself. I don't. I just smile it inside, and this is not me. Because if I think it and say, okay, am I doing it bad, then that negative energy flows somewhere. So that's, even if I don't meditate, that's the way I keep myself in that direction. And something I have learned from my wife, anytime somebody says, I'm doing this, first reaction is, no, don't do this. You do this way. So I've stopped saying that. Just listen and let it go. Let them do what they have to, whether it is a kid or a wife, parent, or anybody, it's their decision, whether it is good or bad. I have no positive, no negative there, Let them do and find it out what happens. If they ask me, yes, my advice, but do what you want. That keeps my mind or soul a little bit, at peace, ease.
And see, this is a big change. And once you feel that peace, once you feel that it is not impacting you internally, not just superficially, now you know your learning is complete, or that chapter, your target is achieved, which is really a great thing, that now you can easily distinguish between have I really completed, or yes, truly I've overcome that hurdle. So that's wonderful. I will take Raviji's question, which is in the chat. How can meditation and spiritual practice be adapted to help children who have lost a sibling or friend process their grief and make sense of their emotions? So great question. It is something that we all go through in our life. At what stage, what kind is different for different people, but it's life. We will certainly lose our loved ones one time or the other. We cannot change that. That's a rule of the nature. So the question here is, there are many questions within this. So first is the question about how to make use of this meditation and spiritual practice, which are two different kind of within them. And then children, that means little younger age, but it also applies to adults, because it's not like adults can handle, children cannot, which we may think, but actually it's not. In fact, adult may have more problems sometime in adapting because of rigidity we develop over years. And grief is another element here, and emotion is another element. So if I make this question simple, if we know that we have to live this life, we know there will be certain events in our life which is beyond our control, because everything with respect to soul plan I'm referring. If my soul plan is that I have to learn so and so kind of emotions, challenges in my life, and if those challenges I can learn in, say, 10 years, the soul may plan to be in this human form for 10 years. Soul may plan to be 20, 50, 80 years, whatever. So there is no right or wrong. As we mentioned in the previous session, some souls, it is their just initial journey in the human form. They are just coming from animal kingdom. They may not be ready for this huge sea of emotions that we get in human life. There may be some infant soul, baby soul. So they may plan that, okay, I will only come in mother's womb. I won't even come out, but I want to feel the emotions. In the mother womb, I can have a taste of it before I decide whether I want a full-fledged human life or not. So that soul may plan, as a soul plan, miscarriage. Soul may plan that, okay, I will come, but I will live, just like a baby life. Everybody's taking care of me. I don't want to make decisions or whatever. So soul may plan only a couple of years of life. But as a human being, the parents, people around may get a huge feeling of guilt. Oh, we did not take care. That's why this miscarriage happened, or that's why the toddler, or, at a very young age, this thing happened. Maybe we were not careful enough, or things like those. So if we understand the soul plan, it should help a person to handle any kind of grief. That does not mean we don't do due diligence and all those things. No, it doesn't mean that. As a parent, as whosoever in the relationship, we do what we should do. But in spite of our normal life, these things will happen. So if we understand the concept, why it is happening the way it is happening, it will help first in accepting whatever incident has just taken place. As a human being, as in the physical form, the body and mind will really make you cry, can take you in deep, a Q&A session, that why this happened, what did I do, maybe I would have done this differently, or all those kind of things. And depending on the age, the emotions will vary. Infant versus, a middle age, youth, or parent or whatever. Yes, doesn't matter. Even if the person leaves us at the age of 90, we still have, emotions because we love and all. That's natural. So meditation helps you to look inward and understand, not just listen and hearing, understanding these concepts. Spiritual practice will get you deeper into it. It's not just meditation, but spiritual practice will bring you, like we are talking about soul plan. What is detachment? What is non-interference? What is gratitude? What is forgiveness? And if we understand these topics and can practice these topics, it will make your life blissful. We have understood there will be people coming in our life, there will be people leaving our life. People cannot handle breakup. Young kids, they commit suicide. Oh, I have a breakup and I'm ending my life. Why? Because they cannot handle that emotion. So if you come into meditation and spirituality at a very early age, you will be able to understand. If it is still your soul plan, you may end up doing whatever you do in your life. That's a separate issue. But it helps you because you have a free will. The soul came that, okay, I will learn this, or I will do this in my life. What actually you will do can be different because of your free will. So the more we can understand things, so meditation and spiritual practice helps you so that the soul can choose wisely. Your free will you can use, but you will use your free will to continue in the direction of your soul plan rather than deviating and going in a different direction. So that is something will help you. You will understand things will happen in your life, but the perception of things, the way you look at things, the way you handle things will be totally different. You will not get influenced by just outer self emotions, people, this, that, those kind of things. You know that when you were born, people make Janam Patri and all, and you may get prediction, oh, this will happen. But that is when you were born. But then you are doing karma. Every moment you are adding your karmas. And that's the area where free will comes into play. And free will is your option. You came with a plan, that's one thing. But you have an option of choosing left or right at every point in your life. Not like every year, every point, every moment, whatever decision you are making. So you have always two options, not just one, that this happens, then I will do only this because that's my soul plan. No, soul has a free will, means you in this human form makes the choice. Do I react or I don't react? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I take this path? Do I take that path? And those choices will decide you are following your soul plan or you're going left, right, or in what direction. Now, most of us, we do not know what soul plan is. When you come under spirituality, this, that, you hear these things. Not everybody knows even this concept exists. Then out of those who knows, only a portion of it has truly understood what's my soul plan individually. If it is so hard, because you have to work on it. You have to know such thing exists. If I've understood mine, that doesn't mean I understand everybody else's around me, my parents, my kids, siblings, or spouse and whatnot. So how do I know? Their plan may be this, that's what they are doing. So we keep interfering, we are judgmental by nature. So that's why it's a journey. So free will means I can do anything, but depending on what I do, my direction will be decided. My direction could be aligned to my soul plan or totally different. How I will make my decision or what will impact, spirituality, meditation can really help you in making the right decision, because now you're listening to your heart, or not worried about my neighbor says this, my friend says this, my society says this, so I should take this decision. So this is the importance of meditation and spirituality. So hopefully, Raviji, you understand that we should not get stuck with any event in our life. If we understand soul plan, things will happen. It's not to punish us. Only reason is soul plan. Soul plan means nirvana, mukti for the soul. So the important thing here is the moment we detach, that I am not looking only from the body and the mind perspective, I am looking from the soul perspective. Your analysis, your acceptance of events in your life will be totally different. Doesn't matter how harsh, good or bad they may be. Doesn't matter a person wins a lottery of millions of dollars or the person loses because of somebody cheated the person millions of dollars. Whether
Yeah,
we can.
Gaurav-
Yes, Ravi.
yeah, Gauravji, somewhat I could understand what you have tried to explain me. But again, I think I'm again reframing the question which I wanted to ask you. As an adult or as a parent, one can understand the concept of soul plan and all, but how can a small child understand this soul plan or spiritual belief to navigate himself herself from the pain and grief of losing a sibling?
So thanks, Raviji, because I know when I was going through the question, I said there are many elements, and I think I forgot this child part because others we talked about. So
Right.
the main thing is, and this is one of the reasons why I love working with youth, and the sooner we understand this concept, the better it is for the individual. So first of all, we should learn, we should be inclined towards these topics. Then only we can refer it to our kids. So that's step number one. That first we learn, we believe in it. Once I believe, then my parents, my kids, both sides, up and down, they will be hearing from me that such thing exists. Because mostly our life, we are worried about parents, our kids, and of course, colleagues and life and everything else. And we are trying to change parents because they're aged. We are trying to change our kids because they are too young. In both the cases, we say, oh, they cannot take care of themselves, so I have to, which is interference. But if they understand, so if the person learns at a very young age, so imagine neither you have to take care of parents because they know, nor you have to take care of kids because they know. What they do now is a different question. So the best thing is, first, I come into this thing. That means I believe, I practice meditation, spirituality. And second, I can introduce this to the kids. Introduce does not mean force them, just introduce. The sooner they learn, they hear about it, and they slowly accept, it will take time. We cannot force anyone. The sooner they understand, then they can decode all these things effortlessly. They will have the same understanding. Okay, I lost my siblings, or I lost my very close friend of mine. And not losing means losing as is. Like sometimes, you change a city, you go to a different city to live, and now you have a different school if they are young, and they think, oh, I'm losing my friend. Losing means I'm moving to a different city. For some kids, it could be a disaster emotionally. Same thing.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
we
Gauravji.
learn,
I don't. Yeah.
but don't force.
Hello.
Yes, Raviji.
Yeah, so I have a small question again. Uh, you have any resources available to help such young kids to understand this uh, in their own unique way? Maybe I can understand what you are trying to tell me. A small young kid may not understand this. So, are there any resources or support systems to help them understand this in its own unique way?
Okay. So there are two things. First, I'm writing it as my homework. Okay. So soul plan for kids. I do have like different sessions which were for youth. So kind of diluted down quantum physics and all those things, how they can understand easily. I'll have to check if Soul Plan 1 is diluted down or not. So if anybody needs it, certainly they can connect me one-on-one, and in half an hour, 1 hour, or multiple sessions of 15 minutes, whatever works for the kid, depending on the age, we can do that session. But I will design and plan something for the future so that that could be specific for, young kids.
Guruji, from what age can kids understand about soul?
See, that's a good question, Ashokji, because it all depends on the first, whether the parents are into that or not, the spirituality meditation, because if they understand that means the kids have heard something. So it all depends what have they heard. For some, it could be very young age that they have heard in the family, so they know what it is. In any case, as a reference, I say 7 years plus when we talk about these concepts in general. But the way we explain, say, a child of 7 may be very different than child of, say, 15, 20. So just talking in the terms with respect to age. So, for example, if the child is just 7 to 8 years, you're talking about the life which is their life at that stage. The toys and the whatever they are learning at that stage. They are in the world of all the comfort all around, just learning the basics. So you're talking with reference to examples of those basic things, simple life what they go through. But when you're talking about 15 teenagers, their life, we know that there is change in those years, that 7 years, and they can understand a little more about relationship, this, that, and the other. And every 7 years, there is a huge change in our emotion side. So that's the reference. But a 10-year child can understand more than a 20-year, depending on the atmosphere at the home. That's the other side that I was referring to. So,
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you, Guruji.
so Ravi,
Gaurav, I want to add one thing.
yes, Veer.
Actually, it's a very good question. Actually, as a parent, first we should understand to explain for the kids to observe first, not only understanding, observing. And there is a group led by Australian master Saroja Gullapalli, pyramid meditation, but so many masters from US are contributing to that, and they have a separate group or sessions for it's like a course for different age groups, like until 7 years and 10 years, like different in different time zones and different languages. They have a course for kids where they will teach self-love, the soul plan, everything in a simplest way with the stories reading and kind of that. So I can share the details so you can subscribe. There are always like 2 months, 3 months courses continuously happening. So I can share that and you can subscribe and you can join the kid. It's not just directly they'll tell soul plan. They'll tell about everything about our personality, as I said, thought process, words importance, and everything related to spiritual subject in the simplest way, and how to be happy and loving nature, everything that comes, and how to treat people, and mostly about being utmost, why the life purpose, I mean what is the soul purpose, being happy, all these. And also they'll go with the different books, read some stories, sharing like this. I can share you that details if anyone wants to join their kids.
That's a very good point, Veer. Yes, those link or of those groups or other information, yeah.
Yeah, because that is very structured. It's like they're running like a virtual academic kind of a course. So I think even my kids joined twice to that. So that really changes kids' perception because they're going to the outside world, not only just this part, what are the problem we're discussing, it means other problems they will handle it. So it's a very good thing. Even as a parent, if you listen also, it will be a lot of new things we can learn. So I can share you that. I hope they're running. it's been while for me. I'll check and let you know. I'll check in
Yes.
I'll share in the group.
Yeah, that would be nice because I remember, but that was around 2 years ago. There was a group started, but after at least I'm not having that information. So yeah, we can find out, and whosoever has information, please share it in the group so that we can circulate any such group which is well catered to young, the kids, the youth. Then different people can make advantage of it. So thanks for that. You also had in between.
Gauravji,
Yes, Ashokji.
just only one comment for any parents that are in this particular group right now and asking for those questions. From my side, I would like to tell them, because I am also the same kind of a person. So the parents has to go through spiritual parenting first.
Yeah.
Okay, that is very much required before they
I
ask
agree.
for their kids how they are. So that is the best way of learning as a parent. And then they can start having the situation clear with the kids and given the wisdom to the kids, and the kids can start having on their own path, because we cannot force the kids to come and sit and meditate and all of that stuff. That is not going to never happen unless and until they are really interested in coming and all. But before that, I would like the people has to go through spiritual parenting sessions with whoever that one is, whether it is Saroja Golapalli madam or Gauravji or whoever it is. That is the first thing that they need to do before they actually go into the kids side.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashokji, and thanks, Mr. Veer. Gauravji, thanks for explaining me everything, and I look forward to the supports the colleagues now they have explained, and if they can share whatever they have available resources, I'll definitely explore that. And also, I have one more question, but I don't want to ask that question now. Related to this one only, I'll ask next Sunday. Maybe others you can explain others. You can take other questions.
Okay. So
Gaurav sir, just 1 second. Can somebody please share that spiritual parenting details in the WhatsApp group, please?
yeah, we'll collect the.
Sure. We'll share it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It will be good for everyone, and we will be sharing whosoever has.
And there is, I think Gaurav, you might be aware, there is a separate group WhatsApp led by Dallas Group, Spiritual Parenting itself. There's a Facebook page and they will share like innovative things, as I said, from I think from mother womb itself, how we have to treat the kid and all when they're pregnant and all. I think that would be the right group of spiritual parenting.
Yeah, that so we will reach out to those different masters, and we will keep putting as a resource, and we will have it in the description of the group so that those links stays forever. Otherwise, the post may disappear. So this way, people can really make use of it. Before also, you had a hand raised. I know when we were taking the question.
Yeah, actually, I want to add in addition to, I think, Smitaji's question, right? First question, Smitaji's, I think his son is, I mean, she's going through a lot with this, her kid. So I want to, I understood the intention, just want to add 2 or 3, I think 3 things to, in addition to that one. I think, because I've been listening from the last few weeks how she's going through, and it's not easy, as I mentioned. But one thing, if you observe how the soul plan is, that if you observe, if it's like who is drinking too much or any habits, right? If it is there in the soul plan at one point, if either by listening to someone else or even some note, suddenly some realization through some piece of paper will happen, and there are people change, and there are people very educated, very highly educated people I know, very professional speaking, everything is everything except that part. But they drunk, finally they ended the life like this. So that clearly indicates that it's a part of their journey. So as a family member, as a mother, I think her one point is here need to be noted is she needs to at one point when you're trying to explain in all with the patience is the number one thing. I think in that way females are more blessed with that way. So that with that, try to, first of all, we should be centralized with our heart, okay, not with the mind. As like body mind will give you a different direction. To do that heart, so then explain the child in different ways, patiently try it out, but and practice detachment. You need to tell from your mind, but not with an emotion. So try in all the ways and leave it there. Because even if you try like next 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, that it has to bound to happen, it will happen. So he will be like this only. And also, but in the mean process, you will be drained, you will be down, you will be emotionally down, you'll go have a lot of physical health issues and all. So I suggest to practice detachment. Okay, detachment. And also why this question is coming up again and again, because of lack of fear. The resources are over, he's not listening, he's ruining his health, something like that. To do that, to avoid that overcome is again, you need to be in present moment. For both detachment and one thing is, I think you have been telling him, stop somewhere, I think, because you know it's not your control, it's an adult kid or something like that. It's open, you're indicating. Now coming second point is worry about our resources or his health or his well-being. So then practice more, it will help you to more centralize with your heart, practice more, spend more time in meditation. What happens is meditation, at least I can see my experience, if you do more meditation, right? Try it out in different timings, more meditation. You will be in this current, at least some part present moment. You don't think about future and past. And also through meditation, naturally, so many blissful things you will get with one sitting. Believe me, everyone. For every answer we are talking about, even we talk again, but the application will be lacking there. So for everything, as last session, one of the madam said, she's more practicing meditation. Everything is inside out. Everything is inside out. What you believe, what you feel inside, above, there is a one important right quote, Adbhavam Tadbhavati from Bhagavad Gita. That is the book from the secret, right? The same thing happening. Whatever you feel inside, purely core, how much time, how much you feel more, thought and feeling attached to that, and either positive or negative, you're creating the outer reality. So to avoid that as well, right? So main is meditation. So do meditation, more practice. Then what happens is that fear and future thoughts, also detachment, will come. You'll feel that. Instead of 10 times reacting, you'll react only to, respond only to. Even they'll reaction won't be there. Only responsiveness will be there when you more practice. And second, even that also will be reduced. Instead of 10 times, you'll reduce 2 times. So you will at least don't have a like a roller coaster ride of emotions with the practice of meditation. And when you have more challenges, I would recommend everyone for doing more meditation. Don't leave it at only, put your determination, at least sit, cut down, at least if you don't go to that silent state, even 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, you will have something. Your perception actually changes. Your mind of belief systems, whatever you have, lightly changes. Slowly, as I said, whatever the dust or whatever the layers formed in our mind, and it will slowly peel down. It's based on if you do 30 minutes, 20 minutes, rather if you do 3 hours, there will be fast change will be there. Positive change. There won't be any side effects for the negative things for meditation. So I suggest to do more meditation so that you will be in this state. Number one, you don't have any fear, and also you will be detached. That's what I want to add.
Thank you, Veer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. We'll
And
follow.
we will take one last question, Vindhya ji, because time is approaching. So, Vindhya ji, please go ahead and mute yourself.
Thank you, Gauraji. Again, I'm driving, so I will turn the video off, but thank you for taking. I know I had my hand raised last week too, but thankfully, when you answer others too, we do get our answers, so no worries. We we do learn from everyone. And I worked on as time passes, I do work on myself. So I have found some solutions, but I still want to ask you. I have a couple of questions, but first question was, when you say, like, when things repeat and they're telling you something and then you learn the lesson, that thing stops happening or those people go away. And I do believe in that because I have seen that happen, whether it was in my sister-in-law's case or, once I accepted the situation and I found my own, like, it is their soul plan and I'm there for them if they need, but when I'm there, I'll give, but when I'm not there and I can't do anything, I'll just send prayers or love, whatever. And it has worked and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't appear in my life so much, and a couple of other situations. But there's still other things that are like, going on, maybe with spouse or some message coming on. And I know it is my soul plan. I have convinced that also because it is always pointing to me to correct myself. But my question is, trying to, when I know it's happening again and again, that means I haven't learned. But every time, how do I figure out what to listen? Because I keep thinking, I'll give you simple examples. It could be many, right? Each time it is different. Like if I'm trying to, I'm a homemaker right now. So if I try to keep the house clean or do something, which is what I think I have to do, and when my husband comes back, he's irritated. The one thing that I didn't clean is what he sees. And he gets upset and, it goes on. And I'm telling myself it's okay. He's trying to, correct me. But then I realize there's no way of pleasing him. That's not what I should be doing. I should be doing to satisfy myself. So I do all this self-talk so I can stop. But the atmosphere doesn't change. He's still irritated. He says whatever comes to him. I try to detach. Sometimes I walk away. I do all that. I have all these tools. But then if I keep trying to figure out why is this, something not, it cannot be just this thing. It could be something else. Maybe he's upset at work, or maybe with me itself that I am not doing something that, and it just goes on. But how do I figure out what it is? Because it keeps coming. And I know it's not just our relationship is not bad. He is there to teach me something for sure. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? I can give more examples, but if you go at the point, I guess.
Yeah, Vindhyaji, certainly. I think I understand what you mean here, or the question indicating towards. So what happens, one thing is very sure. Yes, you get the experiences that you get, which is helping you in learning in many different ways, right? So also we have to remember it's a give and take. So not always we are learning from others, we may be teaching others also. Right? So it goes both ways. First thing is, if your experiences are pointing toward the same thing, so the very critical thing is the intensity. Is my intensity increasing or the same or decreasing? If it is increasing intensity, that means certainly it is something you must work on it immediately. If it is same, means you are learning, but your learning is not complete, and you have to continue look certain other aspect. When it is going down in intensity, means your learning is in the right direction, you're doing the right thing. In this particular example, one thing we have to remember is, if the person is upset, someone else is upset with us, doesn't matter what. One thing is, when do we get upset? When I, as a person, is not happy with something, what I'm doing or I'm going through. And then I take that feeling of whatever the emotions that I'm going through, which is making me upset, I take it out on who? First, I take it out on the most loved, near and dear ones. That's our family, kids, spouse, parents, all those things. Unfortunately, that's how it works. So if you are getting things that that are not pleasant or not, you may wonder why I'm always getting. So it may be the other person, what the person is going through. And that's why the person is taking it out on others. Both ways. You can, as you have rightly decoded certain things and you have already worked on certain things, right? But here, you can also work now on the other person. with open and honest communication and asking and communicating. And again, it may go step by step. Other person may not be ready for it because you may be spiritual. You may know everything. I don't know the other person, right? Or you may not know the other person's level because sometimes it may be colleague, you don't know, family, okay, you have a good idea. So keep that thing in mind and then approach not just from your perspective, but also from the other perspective. If other person is behaving like this, certainly something is going on that other person is not happy in his or her life, and that's why the person is reacting to others.
So I just that makes sense what you're saying. So till I just accept and let him work and support whatever and not let it bother me. Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe sit and
Or try
talk
to help in communication, but you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
talk in this case, of course, you mentioned who, but in general, talk to the other person and say, this is what I feel, So is there anything that, you want to share? There is something bothering you, is something disturbing you? What is it? Let's talk about it. And now, how easy or difficult, depending on the case by case, but that is the direction we want to take to, so that you know what's bothering the other person. And because if you only go by what the other person is saying, which may not be true, the truth may be somewhere else. It is just a reaction. So if we react by the words, then we may get more upset with each other. So sometimes don't go by the words or the reaction, pointing out error in your work or shortcomings or things like that. Say, okay, forget about this. These are only the surface, let's go deeper. There is something bothering you. What is it?
Yeah, so
And
far the
also,
direction was on me. So I was always saying, because we always can work on ourselves. I was trying to work, but then I said, this is going like from everything, it's coming to me. And I was like, maybe I should just not let it bother me and just do what I think I can do my best.
Because sometimes the other person is upset because you are in spirituality, other person is not. It could be the other way around. It could be many different ways. So it's important to know where is it coming from? What is it that you are really upset? These are only, superficial things that we get stuck sometime on.
Guruji, can I just intervene to add something to what you're discussing? It relates to my question as well. So I said that when I try to be assertive, when I feel and I speak up, open up the communication, this is happening not with friends and colleagues and other things, what's happening with family members who are not at all spiritual, and they just when we open up the communication and talk, try to understand, and the atmosphere becomes unpleasant. So because they are not spiritual, they don't agree, they just don't agree. So and I feel that I should stay quiet and let it go, or just take Veer's advice that not get affected at all and stay more detached and just do what we want, we continue, we feel is right for us. Thank you.
If it is a matter of one side spiritual, other not, give the other side the time. It's not our choice to force anything on anyone.
No, that I agree. Yeah, I just can say once or twice. Yeah.
Once it is coming again and again, then at least we know where it is coming from or why. Once you know why, then at least you will not have any guilt that I am doing something wrong. Okay, it is spirituality. It is the other soul's time. Whenever the time comes, the soul will come into the wisdom of, spirituality, meditation, or all any of those. So nothing wrong with you. Yes, from our side, we should not be forcing. It's not like whenever we sit in a group, we talk about spirituality, because then that may irk the other side. That may, that whenever you open your mouth, you're only talking about this. We don't want to hear. Those kind of things is natural, sometimes do happen. So till the time we manage percentage of time when we talk, how much we are trying to influence others, and that's okay. But if others are upset just because someone is spiritual, still try to understand why. What is it that they have the fear of losing? Like people think that, okay, when they say, when I was getting into this, some people around me, they thought, oh, you will get too much into it. That means you'll go away from the, you have to take care of family also. You have to divide your work, yourself, family, and society. Till the time you balance the three, no one feels that I'm neglected.
It's like they're trying to pull me away from spirituality, and I try to pull this way. So the tussle is going, I think, both ways. And then I just left it wherever it is.
And the best thing in this is you just have your decision for yourself, right? And understand.
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing. Yes.
And understand at the same time what they have to have some fear. That's why they're pulling you away. They have some conception, some misconception, or something that they think if the person goes into spirituality, this will happen, that will happen. There has to be some fear in their mind, or anxiety, or some emotion of some kind, which is not true, but they have it. So we have to, if we can understand that then I think we can make this journey much smoother, rather than, because no one is against anyone. It's misunderstanding of certain concept.
Rather, they discourage sometimes that though being walking on the spiritual path, sometimes you react once and they say, see, you're not becoming any better. And they pull you down and discourage you.
Okay. So in that case, and I know exactly what you mean, just take it as a feedback to you that your journey is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Don't
I
react.
tell them that maybe out of 10 situations, if I'm reacting for 10, maybe I'm handling better eight times, and a couple of times my original old habit is coming up. That's the key thing that we all are working on. We are on the journey. That's what I can tell myself.
Yes. And to them, you just thank them that, hey, good feedback. Thank you. Appreciate that. And the story.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel like connecting the dots with all the three people asking the questions now. Thank you.
Welcome. And I'm really, trust me, when you start gratifying, when you start thanking them for pointing out that your journey is not done yet, I assure you their behavior will change, because now they know they are helping you in your journey.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Just say, thank you very much. You are helping me. Just say this by giving me feedback. Only this much you have to tell them.
Yes.
Their thought process will all of a sudden will change that, oh my God, I'm helping her and going deeper into it.
Thank you.
And you will get the benefit of gratitude, which is positive energy.
Yeah. Thanks.
And when you can.
Gauraji, so in my case, I don't think my husband is like stopping me from being, he doesn't think he's spiritual, but when I listen to him, he has all the wisdom. I can see he's, maybe my changing is making him think, and whatever it is, I can see changes in him. And this is maybe the struggle we both have to go through when he's also, so I accept that. I just needed to know like how I work on myself. And I know your time is precious, so I had another question, but I can ask another time. So just, is that fun?
Okay. So thanks everyone, masters, not only for joining, but staying a little over.
Sir, can you explain a little bit more about free will? Like what's free will?
Okay.
Is that I take this challenge or no, or I wanna take the other way? Like, can you little example give me and explain it, please?
Sure, Vinitaji. I saw your question in the chat. That's why when we were talking initially.
Yeah, little bit you explain. Thank you so much. But thoda sa or like little bit.
So let me know, because I will explain it in a different way. Agar aapko like you want in any different, because it can be explained differently. So I will give some different example or different ways, and let me know if that helps you or not. So free will is basically, we have choice. Even the examples we were talking about, someone says something to you, now you have a choice. You can react, or you may say, okay, I understand, and you may not say anything. You have a choice at every point when it comes to career, relation, any event in our day-to-day life, everything, whatever you have to decide. Now the question is, how will you choose? We choose without, it's like our second nature. You really don't every moment take a pen and copy, like a pen, paper and all, you are making, okay, left. No, the body and the mind is doing naturally. So on what basis we are choosing our path? We are doing based on whatever our wisdom is, our energy, what we call consciousness. Energy is nothing but based on your wisdom, which is, we call it as consciousness. So when we improve our consciousness, means when we improve our wisdom, say soul plan, you had no idea about it till today, but tomorrow you have understood. Now your knowledge has increased. Now you know how things really work in our life. Your wisdom improves, your frequency or the body energy goes more positive. Now that when you will make choices, they will be slightly different, better choices for the soul. So now you know that suppose something happens, right? Like we were talking about a loss in the family. Now you will be able to handle your grief much better. Because you know, okay, it is soul plan. You will feel bad as a human, absolutely, which is right thing. Take the emotion out. Don't hold inside you. But you understand why it has happened. So it will help you in taking out the grief, not holding it inside. Holding it inside will make you sick. Releasing it will make you healthy. So how did this improvement came? With your wisdom, with your improvement in knowledge, improving in consciousness. And this is how your free will keep changing. Means now you're making good decision. Good means there's no good or bad for soul, but the right from your soul plan perspective. We get angry on others very easily. Now, the moment we start meditating spirituality, we start understanding, why was I upset? Okay, is it my fault or the other? Okay, I'm interfering. Now you will decide, oh, yeah, I'm telling everyone what to do. This is interference. I should not. So next day onwards, your choice will be different. So now you see, you still have a will. But now your choice is different. Why? Because you have understood something. So now you're not telling your kids, do this, do that, only do this, only do that, because I am telling you. Now you're letting them do what they think. So your choice is different. And with different choice, you will take your life in a different direction. It could be very stressful or it could be very blissful. Does this help in understanding it?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Like basically, the situations, whatever is coming in our life, वो हमें बता रही हैं कि हमारे अंदर कौन सा इमोशन स्टक है और फिर वो सरफेस पे आता है एंड वी आर वर्किंग ऑन इट एंड बीइंग एट पीस विद दैट टू लेट गो ऑफ दैट व्हाट सोल प्लान्स मीन बेसिकली.
यस, आप कह सकते हैं, क्योंकि सोल प्लान में यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि हमारा प्लान क्या है इस लाइफ में, हमें किस इमोशन पे काम करना है. सो यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट. अब आपने अगर आइडेंटिफाई किया कि ओके मेरे अंदर फियर का इमोशन है, मैं हर, और फियर अलग अलग चीज का हो सकता है. फियर ऑफ हाइट, फियर ऑफ स्विमिंग, फियर ऑफ वाटर, जैसे हम कह देते हैं, फियर ऑफ,
बट आई वाज हैविंग ओनली फियर हर चीज में, स्विमिंग, दिस, एस्केलेटर्स, दिस एंड दैट. And when I learned, I started no reaction. Like that changed my life. No reaction, and take it, face it. They like face it, what will happen? And then it slowly changed everything in my life.
परफेक्ट. सो यू सी, आपका एग्जाम्पल क्लियर कहता है कि आपने कैसे आइडेंटिफाई किया समथिंग दैट इज रिलेटेड टू योर सोल प्लान 100%. बिकॉज नाउ उसको बदलते ही यू हैव अ ब्लिसफुल फीलिंग. यू हैव अ, लाइक कहते हैं ना, एक वजन कम हो गया हो, जैसे यू आर फ्लोटिंग इन द क्लाउड काइंड ऑफ थिंग. आपको लगेगा कि लाइफ इज सो गुड.
या इवन जो अभी पूछ रहे थे द लेडी की उनके हस्बैंड, सेम वे. Sometime I used to go to my husband and he started screaming on me, and then when I learned, I just said thank you God and I went to sleep. And जब मैं अगले दिन उठी, he was on my bed holding his hands and asking me for forgiveness. I'm sorry, I really misbehaved with you. So slowly everything changed just because of no reaction. I didn't want to change anything. Whatever, it's their choice how they are talking to me, but I was not taking anything what they.
Very good. See, again,
Gaurumji, can I just add to that? Like I have gone through the same things what she said, like being spoken rudely, then they come and say sorry, but then again it repeats and repeats and repeats. There's no stop. So then I let go things 8 times, 10, 9 times, but then one odd time, I think the anger comes out. So I need to probably
Yeah.
work on that one.
Same way. It's their choice. I have understood now. It's their choice how they wanna talk to me. But I understand completely till inner that I am not going to react on how you speak. So same thing. Aaj bhi hota hai. But I am so at peace that he started meditation looking after me. He started changing his behavior. Like I'm seeing that he started working on himself just because he see that I don't react.
I also see the change, but
Lage
still
raho
going on.
hoga.
Yes, yes.
See,
Yes.
I want to stress here what Vanita
Yes.
just said, lage raho. Reason being, as I mentioned before, if it is repeating with the same intensity, or is it higher or lower intensity? So अगर same intensity repeat हो रही है means you still have work to do. आपने अभी अपना पूरा काम खत्म नहीं किया on that particular topic.
Yes.
Mine is
Intensity is reduced but not gone. So still.
So you have to continue, not the other
Yeah.
person. You have to continue and improve further before that disappears from your life.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And also, if you're all everyone notice, once you started this spiritual path, you would have tested with you would have seen lot of challenges now came to the awareness compared to earlier life. This is kind of a testing our practice or our thing. So everything comes to make you aware that you are missing something or you're lacking here. So there's no surprise that you will be wondering, I learned here again why I got it and all. But I think the patience, no reaction, keep quiet will give you the result and as well as the answer, I think.
But just I feel that when that individual talks well, interacts well with others, just why me? So that question triggers me sometimes.
And that is why meditation, spirituality is all introspection. You are looking inward. You don't worry about the rest of the world. See, soul is not working on 50 emotions in one life. 1, 2, maybe 3. So why only 1 or 2 in the whole life? Because it takes time, because there are details, subsections of any topic, subtopics kind of thing. So take your time. Don't expect that in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, one emotion topic can be resolved in our life. It's okay. Let it take time, but continue working. These indications are telling you you have still more to learn.
And also don't expect the other person who is a non-spiritual especially, right? Like the way we want, or because sometimes what happens is, I mean, everyone has to check. Our spiritual ego will dominate. See, even a non-spiritual person, let's say someone is showing you anger, or if you let's say if you're not we are not reacting, our spouse might get more anger and say, why am I shouting, or I'm showing you why you are not reacting or not. This because in a norm, ego is the smallest word, but that is the highest emotion will be there regularly in everyone, right? So that will come, especially when you do this spiritual practice, that usually naturally get dissolved. So don't, first of all, if you ask me what is the best testimonial that I'm a great spiritual practitioner, is that being when you practice well and certain after years on certain level, it's not about you will you accept any person or anything, any situation as it is. That is the great, you can call as a yogi, for as per my knowledge, my experience. So as it is, any person, any situation, without judging or without identifying it as judging or concluding at anything. So we are still under the path of going to that level. So just as I said, being patient, don't judge, don't conclude, don't analyze as well, saying that, hey, why I should learn something under. You don't know right away. As I said, you don't know 10 steps for a water solution. At least you know only next step. So just travel, more work on yourself, be patient. You will get all answers will be revealed from within. No doubt in that. Okay. And also one last thing. I know this is very good interesting discussion. I really I asked to ask Gaurav to requested to have it. The reason is, if you have something in your mind, any emotion or any question and all, that will create a block. It won't help you to, even if you do meditation, you cannot evolve with certain blocks in your mind. So after discussion here, I hope it will be clarifying. Even some people, sometimes life will give you full like football game, some full kind of tough in a Middle Eastern world called the tough time and all. Still, some people are having the challenges. You have a lot of questions and all. I think still you can interact with Gaurav or me. Will help you in kind of a self-counseling, a self-clarification, so that you can come out of that emotion or that question or that block. So that your practice will be better. So always feel not in the group. You can always contact. I think you have our numbers. Reach out. I can. And Gaurav is already saying that to reach out to him, but I can also help you with my experience also to counsel and guide you in the situation.
Thank you, Veer, for giving an excellent insight to introspect about the things that you said. Thank you. I think I need to work on that. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining and staying extended time as well, because ultimately any topic, any discussion we do, the reason is if we can help ourselves. So this extra time, extra discussion certainly helps everyone. And if each one of us can even make a minor change, will be really the best result of any discussion or anything. So we will meet next Sunday to continue discussion. We will take topic as well, but the remaining questions we can continue taking it. So till then.
Gaurav-ji, I have put a question in the chat. Do you just want to make a note of it so we could discuss it on the next occasion? No problem.
Well,
regarding affirmation I put, we can talk later. Definitely.
Right. So certainly we can.
Yeah, you received that chat the thing,
yeah,
right?
I've seen that.
So you should be able to see that. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Bye.